Hi, Doug. This is the second video. This is the intermediate and term and long term to the questions that you asked me earlier. So, intermediate term, eventually things will burst and return to Earth. Don't know where the bottom will be. I suspect many won't survive. There will be a floor and eventually volatility will decrease. I don't think so. I mean, it depends on what you consider an intermediate term. So, for me, intermediate term is in the next, let's say, 6 to 2 years. Is that a good term? I don't think so. I think it's going to continue to go up. You're going to have some ups and downs, but it's going to continue to go up simply because it's unstoppable at this point. Now, long term, based upon um, my analysis on the first video, where I said that the encryption mechanisms used for Bitcoin might change and that might make it more obsolete. But other than that, there's nothing that can be put in place except for a complete ban across the globe that will stop this. And it will hit bottoms at points, but never the true bottom, the floor. People will run, people will come back and forth, but at the end of the day, it's going to survive. And the reason, another key point in my judgment call on that is simply if this was an intermediate term where it will find a bottom, you wouldn't see this push by these big investment organizations joining this craze. If it was simply a fad, they wouldn't waste their time with this. But they see something here and they know something is happening and they want to be part of it. And in an immediate term, it's going to continue to be part of it. They wouldn't invest all this time and effort into these future contracts if they knew that it's going to go away in the next 6 to 2 years. So this is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? This is a crazy environment right now. Long term, the government can allow this. A world where they do not control the currencies. Just imagine if the US government couldn't keep printing all of the dollars it wanted. Major problems. Restrictive regulations will come in ahead of major governments issuing Bitcoin equivalent and put pressure to replace you. Okay, so I think I got the gist of your long term. And I think this goes back to how I view Bitcoin, and it's a little different than as a currency. So yes, it's a currency. It's a horrible currency. Governments want to maintain power over their currencies as part of the power structure that they have, and it keeps checks and balances in place. But Bitcoin is not a currency, in my opinion. Bitcoin is an asset, and as an asset, it's going to survive. No matter what the government is going to do, it doesn't stop me, who have friends in Russia, I have friends in India, I have friends in a lot of different places, from sending cash to them in traditional means and saying, hey, invest on my behalf and put this in there. So this is going to continue. It doesn't stop people who have dual citizenship from investing. I have friends who got me into this who's from Latvia, lives in London. The UK is considering cracking down on it because of money laundering and such. It's not going to stop him from trading. So it's going to take a global initiative. And as I said before, we don't live in an environment now where that's going to happen. So we're going to continue to see it work. But if we use it as a currency, yes, it will crack down. And I think you'll see that more and more people are viewing it past the currency because it's not realistic. And they're seeing it as an asset. And once you see it as an asset, it will change the way that you kind of see the future of it. And I think that's kind of how the U.S. government allows it to continue to exist in current day's environment. But long term, there's going to be some government regulations, as we saw in China. But then at the same time, you're going to have to flip, like in Japan, where they completely embrace it. I mean, there's a coin called Mona Coin. Mona Coin has been increasing because the Japanese government, that's the official coin of Japan. So you see different countries doing different things, and until they're all on the same page, there's not going to be this stop where everything falls. It's going to continue to exist, and there's going to continue to have value for some. Just make sure I didn't miss any of your question. Because the banks are getting in the right way, it's going to slowly unwind Social Security. Okay, please tell me. So yes, the banks are getting in. So long term, these banks do not make decisions on short term. They make decisions on long term. It would cost them so much money to get into something and had to pull out all these resources, capital, human capital, all these different things will cost money. And they're not going to make these decisions. They've looked at this. They know that there's going to be something. You're in the beginning of this, Doug. I'm in the beginning of this. We're all in the beginning of this. where we stand today, there's estimates. I know John McAfee. He's talking in the next 2020, I believe, so the next 3 years, that it could be a million for a Bitcoin, 100,000 for a Bitcoin. We're in the true beginning of this. I think we're seeing these big investors, these futures coming into place. This is the start. It's really just the start. And long term, I think that if you continue going this path, we're going to be really successful people. But I hope you appreciate my input. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. And if you don't like the format of video, I can reply back and write. But after a day of typing at my traditional 9 to 5, I can sometimes misspell words and it's not the best. So I want to make sure that I'm giving you the most accurate and information that I can. So let me know if you like the feedback or the format, and if not, I will stop. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.